Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and it's time again. It's Friday, it comes around so soon, but we're going to be doing another homebrew review for the Commodore 64. And of course, it's a Psytronics game. The trend is there. You know what I'm going to be saying. But this time we're looking at something that I needed to give a second chance to, because when I first played it, I haven't reviewed it before on the channel, but I kind of just thought it was an okay game. I was like, okay, yeah, it's just an okay little platform shooter that I didn't really give much time and attention to. But thanks to my friend OSG, Old Style Gamer, Paul, he's put me on to this again and said I really should give it some more time. And I have done, and I was mistaken. It is an absolutely awesome game. I'm talking about Steel Ranger on the Commodore 64, which does benefit from the 128. If you have a Commodore 128, you'll find that this has benefits on that system due to its speed and the rest of it. But yes, this is essentially, to boil it down, this is Metroid or Super Metroid on the Commodore 64. You're not going to get any closer to it, I don't think. My instincts at the beginning were it's a poor man's Turrican when I first played it, but give it more time and there was a lot more to the adventure element of it and to the Metroidvania style games that are popular these days. So we'll jump into some gameplay in a second, but as per usual, I shall show you what you get when you buy the game. This is the premium disc edition, so this is $14.99 from Psytronics. They always do such amazing quality things. I'm always very happy to buy from them, never have any issues. But yes, this is the disc here, so you can see fantastic artwork on the front. Steel Ranger there. So the Steel Ranger is actually the battle suit. And yeah, you are in a distant planet that seems to be taken over by machines. Some intelligent AI is on this planet, and you've been shot down in your ship, and you're investigating all of what's going on. So there's a mystery to unravel about this machine planet, and you are in your souped up Steel Ranger battle suit, which can benefit from many guns, many little power-ups that you'll play as you go through. But yeah, so in there, that's the case. Case is always lovely, artwork's fantastic. You also get a nice little manual that tells you all about the game. Now, I would recommend you obviously look at the manual, because there are a few keys that you need. So you've got the one button joystick, obviously, with your jump, left, right, up, down, fire button to obviously shoot your weapons, but then there's a couple of keys, like using the run stop to get to the menu system, using the space bar to cycle through your weapons, actually using the keys 1 to 8 if you want to not cycle but go directly to a weapon. You can do that using the number key. So there's a few keys involved in the game, so if you find you can't do something, do check to see there isn't a key for it. But yeah, as always, again, manual's lovely, good quality print inside, good artwork, has all the details you need, screenshots and everything, instructions to do, and also the little story. So there's a story in the game, there's a scenario you can read through as well. And then of course there is the 5¼ inch floppy disk, which again looks cracking. They just look so good. I love them so much. I can't help it. It's just happiness. Happiness in a black square. So yeah, that's the package you get with the game. So let's jump over to the table. As always, I'll play a bit of intro music, and then I'll be talking about the game as I'm playing it. But yeah, this is a game that I'm only going to be able to show you a small part of, right? Unless you want me to do a very long video, or maybe do a let's play on a Monday Night Retro or something. At the moment in this video, you're going to see just a snippet of the bits and pieces you can do, because the game's huge. So I would have to play it all the way to the end to then be able to give you that sort of summary. But once I've shown you some video, we'll come back and we'll have a chat. All right, see you in a sec. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to kind of talk over the game whilst you're watching it, but I will go quiet in periods because I want to leave you looking at it. But options there, you can see it's nice to be able to adjust the difficulty and the different sound, different options there, so that's really nice. But we'll just play it on casual, but there is a hard mode as well if you want to go crazy. Yeah, I just played on casual for now. And of course, new game and continue, because the game supports saving. Get to create your character, which is also nice. Give it a name. Of course, we're calling ours the Hobby Lodge. and then yeah, play with the appearance as well. Change your skin color and hair color, and also your armor color as well. And then once you're done, you can just hit confirm to start the game. Looking lovely. But yeah, as I said, there's a good piece of story in this game. It is an action adventure game, so what would it be without a story? So yeah, you can pause and read all of this, or read when you're playing the game, but essentially discover the planet that has some machine AI. Looks very similar to machine AI that we're aware of, which I think is definitely a clue. But while ship is being attacked, we are to go and investigate using the Ranger armor suit that we've been equipped with, so that should be pretty cool. But yeah, there's the story. But I love this because it's it just reminds me of, obviously in video modern games today, you have sort of cutscenes in between missions, or cutscenes at the beginning of the games, and this plays out very much like a cutscene where you're going to have this kind of interaction with various members of the ship before you start the actual mission itself. So you can explore the ship, but it's mostly just empty rooms, so I tend to just follow this guy to the next key part of the mission and get things going. But again, yeah, it's just little bits of story just to keep things interesting. Every single person has said something to you as you walk up to them, and then you're going to go and get yourself suited up and ready for hopefully a nice soft landing, so you can go and investigate. There we go, we are now being powered up in our Ranger suit. Well, there goes our safe landing on the planet. We've been hit by some heavy fire, and we are going to be crash landing instead, it would seem. And that's it, we're into the game. So as you can see, we're on a planet's surface here, upside down clouds, and and blue, very bluish. There is lots of different color palettes in this game, as it kind of sort of, I think it defines the level by having the certain colors. So yeah, as you can see at the moment, just very simple controls. So up, down, left, right. You can shoot in multiple directions, diagonally, upwards and downwards. So you can even crouch and shoot, which is quite essential for some shots because they will come flying over your head. But this is very early beginning parts of the game. So there is machine life on this planet. So everything you see is basically a little robot. So this kind of robot flying, I don't know what you call those, bees or wasps or moths. And then the hedgehogs, which I think are quite nice, or tortoises, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, you know, we're just at this point, we're just trying to make our way to the tower itself. Yeah, so there's indoors and outdoors scenarios. So yeah, this one's a little more close, and there's these kind of like exploding mines. I'm not sure they seem to be living, but they certainly explode when you get close enough to them. You can see down the bottom there, I have one type of weapon at the moment, which is the auto fire machine gun. This is your default weapon. Now when you have ammo for it, when you fill up that little yellow bar at the bottom, it will shoot a lot faster. When it is depleted, which I am at that stage now, it will shoot but still quite slow. You will see the game jumping. I've cut out bits and pieces of the game because obviously these levels are quite large, so there's a lot of places to explore. So I've just tried to grab different snippets of different areas. So this one you're getting closer to the machine city, so it starts to have a bit more structure to it, where so the sort of barren wastelands, you've got you know, these girders and stuff where they've started to build, and maybe this is, you know, expansion to the city as it is at the moment. One annoying little thing there is sometimes power-ups or weapon upgrades or ammo drop in places you can't pick them up. So for instance, what back there, one dropped directly on top of the ladder, and therefore when I went to crouch, which is what you need to do to pick things up, I went down the ladder instead of picking up the power up. So that can be a little bit frustrating, but generally you're pretty good. So at this point we've now made it into the tower, and we've noticed that there is technology much like our own, but slightly adapted. So we're hoping that our Ranger still Ranger suit can be upgraded here. These were absolutely terrible. So the turrets that are in the building, the rapid fire on them is quite significant, and if you get caught out by them, they can destroy you very quickly. So it's best to kind of try and take them out as quick as you can, but I'm not going to say it's easy. As you can see, I'm now using the bounce gun. So this is very reminiscent of games like Turrican, right? The bullet that then bounces off the wall and splits into smaller bullets. This is the one of the Metroidvania type of systems here, where, you know, locked doors. So I need a pass to get through that door. I need what's called the Alpha Pass, and I currently don't have that. So I need to sort of do exploring and see if I can find where that is. One of the things I did like is that enemies touching you, whilst it does damage you, it doesn't do as much damage as games like Turrican. You know, often when you touch enemies in that game, your health bar is depleted very, very quickly. And sometimes you can't help but be touched because the mechanics in the game don't allow you to move that quickly to get out of the way. So yep, here we have upgraded ourselves. This is a bit further on in the game. We now have the wheel mechanic. So this is, with no other way of saying it, this is very Metroid Prime in that I'm able to turn into a small wheel and also lay mines. This was me just learning how to actually do it. It's a bit of a down diagonal in one go sort of manoeuvre, so it takes a little bit of getting used to with the joystick. I will say this, the game, if I had to have any sort of, you know, nitpicks, some of the platforming can be a bit fiddly to actually work. So things like stairs and some of the jumping can be quite just fiddly, just awkward to get on with. But you get used to it after a while. But yeah, there were some times where I just couldn't manage to take stairs. There's not much I can really say. Another outdoor or indoor area here, the caverns. These are quite cool. Mixture of machines and wildlife and other bits and pieces. But yes, lots of hidden areas. So even though I went through this entire section in these purple caverns, I didn't actually progress. There was nothing here that I needed, but I did pick up lots of power-ups and lots of scraps or parts, as you see, where you can see that number 16. That's where I have parts, and those parts I use to get more ammo for guns, so you can use them in vending machines to buy bullets. Yeah, the old classic selling bullets in vending machines, or upgrade your health, to restore your health, and also it's what's used for laying mines. So when you're in the ball mode, you're actually using that parts count to do it. And there's again another locked door, so there's quite a few of these. I did find that I couldn't progress in a number of areas because of locked doors, but I have the ball mechanics, and now I was able to bypass this door. So this door was previously locked. I'm able to get through now using the wheel mechanic, and then take out these enemies. And yeah, so I'm now in a room that I previously couldn't get to. I didn't use the pass, as you can see the door is still locked, but there is a way to use the ball to go underneath, so that was quite useful. So yeah, keep taking out these guys, and I know there's a very good bit coming up in a second. So yeah, collecting parts where you can, upgrading yourself where you can, trying to go back and forth through different areas to see if you can progress. You know, I know that I need this alpha pass, so this is what I'm looking for at the moment, is where am I going to get this alpha pass. These turrets are a nightmare, so yeah. And then an anonymous, you know, a very room that looks very much like, oh, what's going to go on here? So you access this computer, and now the Guardian has been activated. Very scary. And this big thing dropped from the ceiling. Now I will say this, for a boss room, good luck moving. There isn't much you can do. So I decided to go for you know, brute force over everything else, because I couldn't really see where standing would be safe or dodging anything. But unfortunately he took me out. So this time around I decided to get the big guns out. Let's get the bounce gunner. If he's going to shoot me with bounce bullets, I'm going to do him back. So I kind of found a position for, I'll stand here and see if I can rock. And I did quite well here. He didn't hit me too many times, and when he did, we were kind of in a DPS race, so I won. And as you see, when he died, I actually got to the alpha pass in my inventory, so now I have an ability to get through locked doors. And there we go, we're into the machine city now. So that alpha pass opened the door that we found locked right at the very beginning, and we're into the machine city. Some new types of enemies here, but very similar in that I'm sure as I progress through here, more locked doors, more power-ups for my suit, maybe some more backtracking back to where I originally was, because there's still areas I haven't even finished exploring, so there are more and more places to go. new enemies here, like these floating balls and the little ship enemies I haven't taken on before. Quite like doing that. That was quite cool. Turning into the ball and laying a mine on that dude. Yeah, so this is it. So I thought I'd show you the map as well. So as you can see, just it's nice to have a game that actually shows where you could possibly go. And of course there's a save function as well, and I think that's super important to be able to save your game, especially a game of this size. And that is pretty much our quick look. So I'm going to jump back to the other desk now, and I'll talk to you in a second. Okay, you just saw Steel Ranger. What did you think? Let me know below. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was that second time of going back and just giving it more time, waiting to get into the base, taking on those first bosses, getting the wheel mechanics so that I could turn into a little ball and get through the gaps and stuff like that. Just allowing the game to cook a little while with me and not jump into conclusions. Lesson learned for me, I think, there, to give sometimes a game a bit more time to sort of, you know, hook you in. So yeah, I think it's really fantastic. I can see myself playing it a lot. Thank God there's a save method on there, because sometimes games don't have that and you dread to think of playing all the way from the beginning again. So I'm going to love actually going back, picking up where I left off from the actual footage you saw, and continuing. We took down a boss, we got a few power-ups, we got the team into the building, and we're now into the machine city. So I'm sure from there it's going to get crazy. But there's even parts I need to go back to, as you saw, that whole Metroidvania kind of style. There is areas that I haven't discovered or haven't been able to get through because there's closed doors, or the out of reach from my current character. So there's probably power-ups I'm going to pick up along the way to allow me to get to those hard to reach areas and unlock more of the map. You saw briefly the size of the map, and that was just a small section. It's not even anywhere near the size of the map. So it's a big game that's in there, and I'm genuinely looking forward to going back and playing it again. Let me know what you think about it. But yes, I shall stop rambling and let you get on with your weekends. That was Steel Ranger on the Commodore 64 from Psytronics. Brilliant game. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.